It's your daily dose of Donna and Todd. Welcome to the show. Today is Monday, November 18th. We have made it. We have made it through a long weekend. It was a beautiful long weekend for me. How was your weekend? I know a lot of you guys had a fabulous weekend. I was keeping up with you guys over on the Facebook group in DMs. I know some of you guys had a mini Doser Con over in the UK in London. I am looking at you, Sarah and Anne Marie. Speaking of Doser Con, you guys were just prepping for Doser Con here in Los Angeles. Yup, you heard it right. Doser Con Los Angeles. In August 23rd, more information will be coming, but set your calendars, set your alarms for I don't know what, but set your calendars, save the date, special guests. We're going to have so much fun. I'm already planning all the things. If you want to spend some time laughing, having fun, and enjoying your time with people that will, I don't know. I don't know how to explain dosers other than the fact that we are a ragtag crew of we're just a wild bunch. All I know is we enjoy ourselves. We like to laugh. So keep that in mind. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just dropping some hints, Easter eggs. Some say Taylor Swift does it. You have not met the dosers yet. Welcome to the show. I am so excited to talk about everything today. There's a lot to talk about. Of course, it's Monday, which means it's a Cody Brown day. Cody Brown was actually small on the episode last night. We had a lot of other things to talk about, but trust me, I got a lot of DMs about complaints about Christine and Lollipop Head in last night's episode. And Sister Wives is off the chain. We have a lot to talk about other than Sister Wives, though. So let's just get into it. You guys, sit tight, get light, have fun. It's your daily dose of Donna. Everyone, round of applause for Laura Sanchez. It's her first time making a live. I'm not sure you're going to ever have more fun than today at this moment in this hour. I don't want to make anyone feel FOMO if you can't make it live, because we do have lives, right? Everyone has a life. But if you can make it live at least one time in your life, I do believe you'll enjoy the ride. I was talking to someone at my workout this morning who was listening to the show. In fact, she's a writer. She is a writer. She writes novels. I'm going to highlight her book in one of my future newsletters. By the way, and I'll come back to that. By the way, newsletter. Our newsletter came out this morning, early in the morning, 6 a.m. Eastern. The newsletter pops out like a baby. Monday mornings, newsletter comes out, and this week has a few big things from last week's shows. It has my chili recipe that I actually made last night for my family. My kids wanted seconds, which is, that means it's a really good recipe. All of us ate it. We talked about some favorite shows that we're watching. So make sure that you sign up. You sign up for the newsletter at dailydosepod.com/newsletter. I'm going to highlight that comment right here. But today at my workout, I was working out, and one of the ladies that I work out with came over to me and she goes, I was just listening to your podcast on the way over here. And we were talking, and she is a writer. She writes novels, and I'm going to highlight one of her books for our newsletter. If you're a writer and you write books, you never know who's in the crowd here. We've got some smart dosers. Like, remember I asked you guys last week what you guys do? And it's crazy. Like, really smart dosers here. So if you're an author and you want me to highlight your book, tell me. Email me, hello@donnabowling.com, or jump in the Facebook group and let us know, because we can do like a book club with your book, and I'm going to highlight her book. And she also was a writer. You guys, she wrote on Sweet Valley High. Do you remember the series Sweet Valley High? And her husband is the executive producer of the show The Connors. And she also has written on huge different shows. Like, this woman is established. So I thought that was so fun. Anyway, so make sure to sign up for the newsletter. I'm trying to think if there's any other homework for you guys. Oh, I released a Patreon last night where I got to talk about all kinds of things. I talked about Paige and Craig. I talked about Bronwyn and Todd Father here. I talked about let me think what else I talked about. Oh, I talked about Claudia Oshry. So let's get into a couple of stories. So I love the Toast. I am a Toast listener. I listen every single day, usually in the afternoon, early afternoon when I'm like walking my dogs, doing stuff around the house. And I really do love my show, my girls on the Toast. I don't always listen to the top 5, like their stories, because sometimes I already kind of covered it, or it's just people that I'm not very interested in. Like that's where you can tell the age difference because they're in their early 30s. And I just sometimes I'm like, I can't relate to being interested in who is it? Like Pookie? Who's Pookie? Who is Pookie? They cover these people on TikTok that I don't know. Who's Shabuzi? I'm too old to know who Shabuzi is. So sometimes I think that's where the age difference comes in mind. But I love those girls. They're sisters and they're so lovely. And they are, and the younger one, Claudia, just announced her pregnancy. And if you listen to the Toast or watch the YouTube show, I think you kind of had like, I just had a feeling because I just could tell her energy was a little off. She was just seemingly a little bit different. I just had a feeling. But she announced it in her Patreon yesterday, and she announced it on Instagram and then did a vlog on Patreon. It's such a great vlog. So if you subscribe to my Patreon and you are down to subscribe to another one and you like the Toast, oh my God, I cried. I just love a pregnancy announcement. I'm so cheesy that way. And it was so sweet. So I talked about that pregnancy and that announcement. I talked about Paige and Craig and how my gut feeling is according to their live show. So, Paige is doing a live show with Hannah Berner, Giggly Squad. And I love Paige. And I love Craig. And I love them so much together. And I love them so much apart. And I really want them to be happy. But my gut intuition says it's not going to happen. My gut intuition says they're not the one. And not because I think that I want them to break up. I want them to be together forever. But I believe that if they wanted to make it happen, it would have already happened. Like, I just don't know why neither of them, and I'm not saying it's a judgment on him. And it's not a judgment on her. I just think they both have such important lives and both of them are so rooted in their current lifestyles. And that includes their locations. He is continuously opening up brick and mortar locations in Charleston. He's literally like building roots in the ground in Charleston. And she's not really necessarily building roots in New York, but she's not in any way willing to move. I know people, and maybe you guys can agree. I know people. Welcome, Lynn, first time from Houston on live chat. So excited. I think that a lot of people are going to be very defensive about this. She's an independent woman. She shouldn't have to go. She shouldn't have to move. And maybe she shouldn't. I'm not saying she should. And remember, I'm coming from a place of love for them. I love them. I just think that I know a lot of women who have very successful careers and very successful lives and have upped and left their cities, especially if they work in a career like hers where you can really do it from anywhere, and have moved even countries, like left America for Canada or wherever to be with the one that they love. Like, she lives a career where she really can be anywhere, and then she can fly into New York for appearances or Amazon Lives or whatever. It doesn't make sense why she's needing to be in New York to be close to her family. Because as far as I know, she's not hanging out with her mom on a weekly basis. In fact, from what I know, she says she sees Craig weekly, meaning Craig is flying to New York, because I don't think she's flying to Charleston every week. So I think Craig is flying to New York. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is flying to Charleston. I mean, I don't keep up with their travel schedules. I just don't know what's the end game? I want to know the end game. I mean, why do I care? They're not my kids. I care because I'm a Bravo fan. And one of the Patreon comments on my Patreon where we were dissecting this yesterday was they're wasting their really important years in this moment. They're wasting these years on each other because at the end of the day, I mean, how old is Paige? Someone Google it for me. I don't know exactly. And how old is Craig? Craig, I mean, of course, as we know, if they want to have children, Craig is less of a concern. Craig can kind of do whatever he wants. But Paige has to like consider this if she does want to have kids. Maybe Paige doesn't want to have kids though. I can see Paige being a woman who doesn't want to have kids though. Like I can see her being completely fine being childless. She just feels like that kind of a person that she's like, I'm okay. I don't know, but I know Craig definitely wants to have kids, doesn't he? Craig feels like a man that wants to have kids. But his younger brother, I believe, just got married. And they were at the wedding and they were so cute and all the pictures and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just find it all. Beth says, my friend that has inside access responded to my question about this a few weeks ago and said, in quotes, I have some scoop on this, but cannot put it in writing. Well, can she put it in a voice message, Beth? No one needs to know except all the dosers. We're a very tight-lipped community. Not. Now, Patricia says she's not that into him. I think she is into him. My gut feeling is that she's very into him. She loves him. She loves having him by her side. I don't think she wants to up and uproot her own life, though, for him. Does that make sense? I don't think she's willing to change her lifestyle for him, but she likes having him there for her. Does that make sense? Oh, she wants kids, Anaconda says. She wants kids. She has said it. Paige is 32 and Craig is 35. Maybe Paige does not feel the pressure to get married and have kids like most women do. Great. And that's fine. Like, there's no judgment on any women who don't want to have children. Like, I think that is a far gone thing. No one should ever feel judgment on not having kids. Just like no women should have judgment on wanting kids. This is completely your own choice. That is not anyone else's choice but your own. It just needs to be decided with your partner. If you're going to be in a relationship, that should be something. It's just like everything else, right? It's a love is blind moment. It's a pod moment. If you're in a pod with your partner, you got to decide, what religion do you want to raise your kids, or what religion do you want to practice? Do you want to, are we a saving type of family? Or are we spending type of family? Are we having sex once a week? Or are we going to be like Stacy and TJ and just go to the zoo? More on that later. Literally, Andrew Dominguez just showed up in the chat, but I'll just tell you this. I sent Andrew a DM this morning and I said, are you and I like Stacy and TJ? Because basically that's the amount of relationship, and that's a Real Housewives of Potomac reference in case you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, but Andrew does say Paige gave up her entire identity to her last boyfriend, and I don't blame her for not doing it again. Andrew, are you talking about Perry? Is that who her last boyfriend was? Because that's the only boyfriend I can kind of remember her having. That's Perry, right? From the guy that was on Summer House. But I don't remember her. Okay, let me know if that is, because the only person I remember her with was Perry, and I don't remember her giving up her entire identity to him. I just remember her being like, and maybe I just wasn't following her that well, but when I just did the rewatch of Summer House season 4 and 5, when she was with him, she was just more like torn, because he wanted to be more of like a stay home type of guy, and she wanted to go out more, and that was more the struggle. I didn't remember it more that she was like giving up her identity. Oh, it was about the money. Yes, there was a little bit of a money situation where he basically told her that like where she could spend her money and stuff. But see, I don't believe that Craig in any way would control. You can have a relationship and you can have a marriage, a very healthy marriage, and still maintain complete autonomy and independence over your financial abilities and stabilities, like or financial independence. Like, I believe that Craig is so in love with Paige that he could marry Paige, and she would say, I want a prenup, and I want to have my own bank account, and I want to be in a situation where I never have to ever consult you for any single thing I ever purchase. And Craig would say, yes, okay. Like, I just think that would be their dynamic. I don't think Paige would ever agree to be in a marriage with Craig where she had to like ask him for permission and ask him for anything. Like, it's just not who Paige is. And I think it would work fine. I just think it's a location thing for them that's so confusing. So the reason why I bring this up is on Patreon last night, I played a clip of at their live event. One of the Bravo creators that I follow and I'm friends with was at their live event over the weekend, the Giggly Squad, and someone asked what's the future of Craig moving to New York? And Paige's answer was, well, he has a key and he knows where my apartment is. And then someone said, and then the person commenting said, I've loved Craig ever since he didn't know how to attach his picture to the bar application. And Paige said, you don't even know how many things I have to do behind the scenes, kind of like putting him down. And I know it's kind of fun. And I know it's so cute. And I know it's whatever. But I'm like, Craig is just such a doer and such a good guy. And I don't know, maybe we're missing something. But like Craig has literally single-handedly completely he's written books, he's opened businesses, he's so charitable. I mean, how many things have we seen him do for charity? He's working with Down syndrome people. Like he's helping all these people in like out of the goodness of his heart. He has this great friend, is her name Becky, that he always posts about. He's constantly donating. He's constantly giving his time. He wrote a book about ADHD. He's opening restaurants. Like, this guy cannot do more for others. And he does it all with a smile on his face while looking smoking. Like, I am obsessed with him. So I'm sorry, Craig. Like, I just don't want Craig to get hurt. Okay, let's move on. Anne-Marie says, where is Josh? I don't know, and I'm not okay. Josh, get your ass over here. Maybe Josh is with Craig. Let's move on to the stories of the show. Oh, by the way, note to self, note to you guys, because I just saw a story about Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox, bless his heart. The way I love Michael J. Fox, like I watched, if you guys want to laugh, do a rewatch of Curb Your Enthusiasm. The key to the world is laughter. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race by laughing. Because I spent a few hours this weekend with my family watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yes, I introduced my 12-year-old son to Curb Your Enthusiasm and watched Palestinian Chicken episode, which is hysterical in a post-October 7th world. Hysterical. The Palestinian Chicken episode. And then when we watched the Michael J. Fox episode. No, we watched a bisexual episode. We watched Palestinian Chicken. We watched a bisexual episode with Rosie O'Donnell when Larry David and Rosie O'Donnell are fighting over a woman. And then we watched the one with Larry David, where he is inadvertently, like, he gets into it with Michael J. Fox, and Michael J. Fox uses the fact that he has Parkinson's over Larry David's head. And it's just, when I tell you, it is quite possibly so good for these times. You must go and watch it. Like, just given everything that's happened in the last few weeks, I'm telling you, it was like art imitating life. It's phenomenal. Larry David, I love you. I love you. I was like watching something on my phone and Bernie Sanders came up like in a news thing, and Dylan goes, "Oh my God, is that Larry David?" And I was like, for real, they are twins. Bernie Sanders and Larry David are twins. Just laugh. Just freaking laugh. In life, we need to laugh. Speaking of laughter, I have a great sponsor this week. This week, we need to laugh more. And you know what makes you laugh? Relaxation. And guess what gets you relaxed? Because as the holiday crowds and endless gift lists are starting to get to you, which we all know, the stress of the holidays, it may be time to take a break and restore your zen with relaxation and calmness. And this season, we all need to get more calm, and that is with VIIA. So this season, let VIIA bring you some much needed relaxation with the natural power of hemp. Whether you're unwinding by the fireplace or mingling with friends, VIIA's premium THC and THC free gummies have you covered. Their award winning products are designed to help you find your perfect holiday balance, whatever the occasion. VIIA is a trusted leader in the hemp industry. They offer a wide range of high quality products from THC and THC free gummies to THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops. Everything is crafted with top quality hemp, sourced directly from American farms, and legally shipped to nearly all states in discreet, worry free packaging, no medical card required. As you guys know, I tend to get a little bit, worrisome around some THC products. Lance, on the other hand, he's like, bring it on. So I like the THC free gummies. They calm me. Lance like the THC products. When I get some THC in my system, I either can't feel my body or I organize my Tupperware on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. So if you're 21%, if you're 21 and over, click the link to VIIA's website in the description below. Use code DailyDose for 15% off. This holiday season, give yourself some peace of mind and be sure to tell them that Daily Dose sent you. Relax, rejuvenate, and enhance your everyday with VIIA. Anne-Marie wants to know, can we order it for DoserCon? And the truth is, we can all order VIIA, Dame, and God knows what else, some meat for DoserCon. It's going to be a wild ride. Jen said, I put my volume down thinking it was going to be Dame. And no, this week we're going to move away from those moments. Okay, welcome to everyone that just showed up. Josh is here. Let's keep going with the show. Now, I'm curious. Does anyone wonder, does Bethenny Frankel want to get onto Real Housewives of New York again? This would be so shocking to me. And the truth is, I actually don't believe that she does. I really don't. Because she has gone so far to decide that she doesn't, but like to talk it down and to talk badly about it. But she has talked so strongly about the show and about like how bad RHONY is right now that it's making me question, and it's making the world question, including Page 6, who has talked about it. Is there a world that maybe Bethenny is trying to come back to RHONY? Now, Bethenny has gone on her TikTok. Let me pull up the exact story. And she's gone on her TikTok and she has already now done a couple things where she has trashed the RHONY reboot. The first thing where she was like, I'm not watching it. Of course, that's the first thing. I'm not watching it. No one is actually watching it in my house, but everyone has called me and told me about it. Isn't that funny when people always do that? Like, I haven't seen it, but someone told me about it. Just admit it. Like, I've seen it. So I'm sure she's watched a couple episodes or at least clips on TikTok. The first thing that she did was she talked about the fact that she had two of her, I love how she had to be very clear. Two of my gay friends have told me that they can't watch RHONY. And we played that when it was on already. Like a few weeks ago, I played that video for you guys. And look, I mean, who knew there was a day that I would agree with a lot of things that Bethenny is saying? And I do agree with her. It's unwatchable. It's very hard to watch. But then on Saturday morning, she has deleted this video, but she shared on Saturday morning another video where she shaded the new version of RHONY, calling it a piece of trash. She said after seeing dozens of videos, people saying that the reboot is unwatchable, she demanded justice for the former RHONY stars Sonia, Dorinda, Luann, and Ramona because they were ride or die. She said that show was on their back, and all of a sudden they got replaced with shiny new toys. She further said, I know a lot more money was spent on the new cast and the new show, while the former stars were often treated like the stepchildren. They've always been discarded. I know the money they've gotten paid. I know the demotions. I know the budgets. I know the premiere budgets. They know, I know, we know, You know. They all know. We know. I mean, what is she like? It sounds like she's going into Broadway. We know. You know. They know. I mean, it's like, so, how much do you know? Mention it all. The new girls, I'm sure they're lovely, she said of the show's current stars. I haven't seen the show, sure, but I'm actually sure that they're lovely. But the former cast, as they got older, just got dropped off at the side of the road. Before revealing that Bravo only has 200,000 people watching this new piece of trash. And I'm one of them. And I don't want to be one of them. I literally, without you guys, I think our audience, without us, we're like, there's only 7 people left. Her suggestion was for the network to go get the old girls and dust them off, mix them in, because humble pie is coming in hot. Bethenny then told her followers to go find the tape where she previously said Bravo's initial announcement about the reboot and a then planned legacy show was boring and she didn't understand it. I didn't understand the announcement of the legacy show and the new reboot with new glossy, shiny produced women in New York that have nothing to do with each other. And look what happened. Not long after she shared her hot take, she deleted the video and then posted another video claiming she's holding back and chiming in the internet, trashing the current RHONY season. Then she demanded justice for Ramona, Luann, Sonia, and Dorinda, who they left for dead in a failed attempt to upgrade to first class. And then she deleted that video too. Like Bethenny has like a crazy, she has a crazy, like a dirty delete thing. She loves to do that. And I do remember when she did post this. I do remember that time when she was like, what are they doing with this kind of, because remember when that first happened, when Andy announced, no one knew what was going to happen. Then he announced, we're going to do a legacy version and a new version. And we all thought, oh, great, there's going to be a legacy version. We're going to have a full series. And then it ended up just being Ultimate Girls Trip. But how much more enjoyable were those 7 episodes or 6 episodes of Ultimate Girls Trip than this season or these 2 seasons of RHONY? I would do anything to watch Ultimate Girls Trip forever than this. It's absolutely insane. Hold on one second. I'm trying to read a couple of your comments. So I will say really fast, and I really do believe that she's right about this. I mean, and she can't take credit for it because I think a lot of us feel the same way. We have to remember why Bravo did cancel this. Bravo canceled RHONY purely, cancel me for this comment, and I'm sure someone will, because of pressure from, just saying, I think pressure for the times that we were in during those times. It was like pressure from it was the times of the world, right? It was like, am I wrong? It was during that time. It was 2020. It was the pandemic. It was a very culturally sensitive time. And there was a lot of stress. And people were very, very fast to say, like, you know, okay, I'm not even going to get into it. But the point is that it was a very, very tough time to film a show. It was COVID, and people were very sensitive about what was aired and who was on and what people could say and whatever. And then we overcorrected by putting people on TV. And now people are scared to say a damn word, unfortunately. And this is where I agree with Camille Grammer. I'm not going to get into her comments. So Camille Grammer over the weekend talked about things she tweeted about a couple things. She tweeted that she believes that Real Housewives have gone too woke. I'm not getting into that because I'm scared that brings up a whole other story. But she did tweet one thing in response to that tweet that says she believes that the reason why these girls are so hard to film or hard to produce good TV now is because they're handcuffed, because they're so scared to just be themselves on TV. They're scared to get canceled. And I've said this on this show already. Like, these people are absolutely, the girls on RHONY are so self-aware when they're shooting that show because they know that if they dare say anything a little bit inappropriate, their careers could be ruined. It's like they're walking on eggshells, and you can tell there's no wackiness. There's no inappropriateness. There's no too drunk falling over. There's no saying the wrong thing. Like, I am watching Sorry, Todd. I'm watching season 7, season 8 of RHONY. Okay. I'm watching Jules. Jules Weinstein. Let me tell you something about Jules. This is Jules, trigger warning, eating disorder Jules, Jewish Asian Jules. This is Jules whose husband is 14 feet shorter than her. Okay? This is Jules who is completely you know, like like I mean, I actually don't mind Jules now watching in hindsight. I didn't like her at the time, but now watching in hindsight, I actually don't mind her. I kind of find her almost a little bit likable. It's kind of strange. I mean, and by the way, do you guys want an update on Jules? I went on deep dive. Like, I didn't see this. Jules and her husband went through a crazy divorce during COVID. Crazy divorce. She abused him. She punched him in the face. They had a huge nasty divorce. Now she lives in Puerto Rico. She has sole custody of Rio and the daughter. They had some weird, horrible. So she and her husband are divorced. But the point is, it's absolutely, it's a different show. When you watch season 7 and season 8 of Luann, of Bethenny, of Carol, of Sonia, of Ramona, of those people, versus what we're watching on TV right now, it's a different show. And I don't even know if it's like inappropriate necessarily. They're not running around just being completely like racist. They're not running around just completely being bigoted or completely being homophobes. You guys, they're not. They're just being real. They're just being like real people. And it's so entertaining to watch. And now we have women that are so scared to make mistakes. They're so scared to make mistakes, and they're so scared to say anything that will make them look bad that it's not happening. It's just not working. Now, of course, I'm going to get into some of the comments. A lot of people are saying, well, why is being self-aware a bad thing? It's not in real life. I think being self-aware is a great thing. Like with real life friends, I think we should all have friends that are self-aware. I wouldn't want to be friends with any housewife in my life. I would actually be devastated if I were friends with anyone that wasn't self-aware. It wouldn't work. I don't think you can be friends with these people in real life. But I'm not watching my real life friends. I want to watch housewives. Like, these people are not people that I want to hang out with in real life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to watch characters. That's why it's like escapism. I want to watch people that are completely like that. I think that's what makes it good TV versus just hanging out with your friends in real life. You know, that's to me. This is what makes it interesting and entertaining TV. And I would imagine that's why the ratings are down. I don't think that this is a personal feeling. I think this is a pretty much across the board feeling. Now, if I'm wrong, and I think if you guys are saying that you guys think that everyone across the board is enjoying RHONY right now, then I'm wrong. But I think that most people agree that these women are pretty boring. And I'm not saying it's because they are not inappropriate. I just think it's boring to watch. They don't have anything interesting going on in their lives. They're not real life friends. Like, when you watch the original RHONY girls, like the drama, just stuff that they would talk about, like the getting too wild on camera, the fighting between John. Oh my God, Dorinda and her arguments with John. You would never see that on these girls. You would never see that. These girls, I don't think we've ever seen on any of these girls ever a night where they get a little too buzzed. Have we? Have we ever seen these girls get a little too buzzed? Where they're just like getting a little too wild? No. Like, and that is like the I feel like that's like the home of like the best and I'm not saying that it's on all the shows, because like even Potomac, we still get that. Like Karen Huger. She was so funny last night when she was talking to Mia. She's like, "You're punching low, I'm punching lower." I mean, that's amazing, right? So you just don't go and do that, you know? Oh my God. OG RHONY had the best side characters. Andrew, agree. John. Remember the guy that shows up at John's art gallery, not art gallery, like John had a party and there was that random guy that was like, Luann, like, why aren't you calling me back? And he was the guy that took Luann to Ibiza and like he was like so drunk and then got Ramona kicked out of the party with Sonia and John got in Ramona's face and Ramona's like, don't do that to me. And like got kicked out and it was all over Page 6. I miss this moment. The scarf guy. I miss this. What are we getting on these shows? You're a basic bitch. Oh, I smell. It's just not even it's not even close. It's not even close. It's so boring. It's so boring. Oh, I miss it. I miss it. Anyway, so okay. Yes, I agree. I think it's across the board. I think most people, 99% of Bravo watchers do not like the new RHONY. And you can blame it on whatever you want, but I think it's a miss. It's a miss from top to bottom. We're watching a show about pranks and we're watching a show about boredom. And this was not even like a huge part. Oh, I guess it was a story of Bethenny going after it. So and yes, I totally agree. They overcorrected. The world overcorrected. I think the world overcorrected, to be 100% honest. And now we're like robots on these TV shows. I don't want to watch a TV show about robots. I have to live with robots. I would like to watch I want to watch a mess. Okay, let's move on to another story. This is kind of interesting because you guys were kind of interested in the Brianna Chickenfry. I can't talk about Brianna Chickenfry, but let's talk about Brianna Chickenfry really fast because the Zach Bryan Brianna Chickenfry story was pretty nuts. And as you guys know, we talked about all of the stories, how she came out and she was like, you know, she announced on her podcast, BFFs with Dave Portnoy and everything, that Zach Bryan was basically completely screwing her over. He lived for a year. They lived like a very emotional, abusive relationship. It was really, really bad. And now she's continuing to go on. She basically put it all out there. All the things he did to her, all the horrible ways he treated her. And then of course people are going to blame her, saying, "Why did you stay? Well, why did you do this? And why did you do that?" And I think a lot of people forget that when you're in a victim in an abusive relationship, you do a lot of things that maybe you're not proud of. But I'm never going to blame a victim when you're in a bad relationship. But a lot of people were still claiming that. But now she's claiming that she has a video of him actually abusing her. She threatened to release the supposed footage on Sunday morning after Zach Bryan, the country music singer, posted images of her cat on social media. So basically, the podcast co-host, that's her, Brianna, went to TikTok to say that if that man, that Zach Bryan, doesn't stop sharing pictures and videos of her cat, she's going to post a video of him whipping shit at my face. So I guess he has her cat. I have no idea why he has her cat, but he's like putting it in her face and trying to kind of basically provoke her because I guess he took the cat after the breakup. And it says it's unclear whether she actually possesses the footage and she has not publicly provided the evidence of the physical abuse. But Dave Portnoy said, "We'll drop the video." In the comments section of her post, he wrote, "Post it." She responded, "I'll just send it to you." Page 6 reached out to Bryan's reps for a comment on her new claim, but they didn't receive immediate responses. Basically, there was a claim that Zach Bryan stole Brianna's cat from her out of spite. And she said, "I miss him so much. Stump is the cat. I want to effing kidnap him. But when Zach left and didn't tell me anything, he took Stump out of spite. He didn't even like cats. His dog hates cats," she said in another TikTok video. "My dog loves cats. I love cats. Can someone steal the cat back for me?" The animals have been one of the hardest parts. Like, I just think about Boston and Jack and Stump. I think about Stump every night. And then on Thursday, the singer, Zach Bryan, took to his Instagram story to share a photo of the cat perched on his shoulder and called the feeling the best shoulder, called the cat the best shoulder parrot around. I mean, honestly, if you're a dog or a cat parent or just an animal parent, like, that is actually so maddening. Can you imagine breaking up with an asshole and them taking your animal and then just like parading and taking pictures of it, knowing how much you're missing that animal? That's cruel. I would be livid over this. Livid. Um, he's mad at her because she's just released everything. Like, she just released that he tried to, pay her off with $12 million to sign an NDA, et cetera. But now she's going back and forth. Now she's saying, well, now I'll send a video of you throwing things at me. Give her back the cat. Dude, do not F with her. Give her back the cat. Like, that is so effed. Okay, let's move on. Real Housewives of Potomac. In the land of the no sex life between Stacey and TJ. Look, I didn't take notes of Real Housewives of Potomac. Why? Because I was multitasking. Potomac is getting better. Is it amazing? No. Is it getting better? Yeah. There's just a few stories that I feel like we have to cover in Potomac. I'm not going to do like a scene by scene recap. We have Ashley and her never ending, never starting divorce. Okay. Let's talk about it. Since I've been alive, actually, what has gone on longer? Coyote Pass or Ashley and Michael getting divorced? This is seriously my question. What is going on longer? Ashley has been divorcing Michael since I've been a zygote. And I believe a zygote means like before I've been an embryo. I think Ashley has been divorcing Michael since the Oregon Trail. What is happening? I think I already died and got reincarnated as Donna Bowling. Like, stop. Stop. And then she teased it last night on Watch What Happens Live. She's like, I have a huge announcement about our divorce. And I'll tell you at the reunion. What? Is she announcing an album? Is she announcing a run for president? Like, what is happening? No one cares that much. Well, I guess I do now. Ashley is annoying to me. I never liked Ashley. I don't think I can ever like Ashley. I don't know why. You know how there's always those housewives that you just can never wrap your head around. I can't like Ashley if I tried. Even when she's trying to help her mom be healthy. It's just like there's something about her that just comes off very fake and annoying, and she bugs me. Pamela says, looking at Michael makes my baby door automatically clam shut. Like, looking at Michael makes us all have immediate infertility issues. Like, there's something, Michael, thank God we don't have to see her and see him. Okay. Giselle's likable this season. Giselle is actually helping the story. I like Giselle. I'm having no issue. Wendy also. I'm kind of liking Wendy. The scenes with Wendy and her mom and kind of seeing her with her family life, it's not bad. Dr. Wendy, I mean, I still don't understand, but we're having a lot of conversations about connecting the dots between Wendy's husband's parents and Wendy's mom. That's a wild story that Wendy's mom and Wendy's husband's mom used to be really tight and now no one talks to each other. That's kind of an interesting story. But really, like, the focus on these episodes, I'm not even going to go into like Jazzy, Kiarna, Jacqueline, all of that. Like, it's too much and it's a little out there. The focus on this episode, we really have to go into Stacey and her, bestie, TJ, because they're not in a relationship. I mean, as Andrew said it very sweetly, they're sisters in Christ. Okay. I don't think TJ likes women in that way. Now, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to like Kyle Richards him. I'm just saying, like, Most people, most men and women, but most men, it's in their blood, it's in their DNA to have some sort of testosterone that gives them some sort of a drive. Okay? At that age, you're going to be around a woman like Stacy, who's a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful. Okay? I've seen her dance. You're telling me that at a sweaty day at the zoo, you don't want to, give her a little heavy petting? Oh, no, we just go to the zoo and then we work out and then we paint each other's faces. It's not going to happen. There is something going on there. This man is not into you. There's no relationship. There's no connection, and everyone feels it. No one understands this, including us. There is no connection whatsoever. It is not a friendship that we can understand. There is not a friendship that we like. This is not a love connection. They're buddies. Because we're buddies, identical. I mean, that's all it is, right? And so Kaden says, I'm straighter than TJ. It's so good. By the way, who likes the zoo? The only time you have to go to the zoo is when you have young kids. Like, do adults go to the zoo for fun? I don't think adults go to the zoo. So, okay. So then they go to the zoo. They do a lot of face painting. Then they go to that event, which was a really strange event. It was kind of wild and also weird. And like, I blacked out a little bit for a lot of these episodes. The only important thing was that Mia and Karen had a conversation there because Karen had to go low. I mean, Mia went low by bringing up the fact that Karen had to go to rehab, and Karen went lower, as she said, because Mia had to go to rehab for opioid addiction. And she's like, listen, if you go low, I'm going to go lower. This is just kind of the way we work. I like this relationship. It's a good relationship. It feels healthy. Now, Karen had a really, really good conversation with her cousin. And all I want from Karen, and she's not there yet, all I want from Karen is to show vulnerability. It's to show, I just want, and I think she's so scared to do that because she hasn't gone to court yet for this DUI. But her cousin showed it to us. Her cousin cried, saying it was so scared I was so scary being on the phone with you when you got in that car accident. So clearly they were on the phone, and Karen was probably a little bit drunk, not a little bit, she was drunk, and she was probably just emotional and talking about all the things, right? Her family and everything. And she broke down and she cried, and her cousin was getting emotional, and Karen's like, I don't want to see you cry. I want Karen to cry. I hate to say it, but I want Karen to just show emotion and just be like, I'm sad. I messed up. She's scared to. She's scared because then she thinks it's going to be admission of guilt. But you're guilty, Karen. You did it. You did it. You drove drunk. Beth says, I love that Todd Plant is in the background. He's got to be here. He doesn't want to be here. It's just like his housewives. Until the end of Salt Lake City, Todd will be here every day. I want to see Karen just finally break down for us. That's all I want to see. And I know that sounds weird, but I feel like that's the missing piece. The final scene with Mia and Gordon and Ink is something that is not to be believed. The fact that they are allowing this on the show is so sick. Gordon is the only smart one here. Gordon, give the kids to Gordon. That's it. Mia is no longer fit to be a mother. I'm sorry. I'm just calling it like it is. Gordon needs to be the only parent. Mia needs to be giving up the kids. How dare you have cameras in your house with your kids and a damn popsicle 3 feet away and talk about the fact that you're not sure who the father of your child is? F you, Mia. I'm sorry. I can't handle that. Todd is pissed. Todd is not okay. He can't handle it with Gwen, and he can't handle it with Jeremiah. It's not okay. It's not okay. Andrew says, I finally caught it live. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for you. Andrew, welcome. You guys, how is this okay? How is this okay? It's so effed. Like, you're so horrible. Your son is old enough to understand what's going on and will absolutely be able to watch this on TV in a couple of years. What are you doing? What are you doing? Who is the father? And why are you letting us watch this? Is this Jerry Springer? I mentioned this yesterday about at what point do producers have to step in and say, like, this is not appropriate. For example, the Mary Cosby scene with her kids. I love that they're covering drug addiction and children. I think it's a very important and very applicable scene and storyline in this day and age, right? For 2024, with like the insane crisis that we have with drugs in America, fentanyl, opioids, all those things. I think that was like a very, very uncomfortable scene for Mary and for her kids. And I think they should have done a disclaimer of some sort, like, disclaimer, this scene was filmed prior to, like, because the amount of Bravo content creators that made fun of Robert Jr. and his girlfriend wife, still don't know, being high off their asses in a bed, eating pizza, not functioning, not aware of what was going on camera, making fun of them and also making like jokes about Mary, enabling them, was so uncomfortable for me to watch all last week that like I still am sitting bad with it. How many people made fun of that? That was like a sick, sad scene to watch. At what point do producers say like, we got to stop? I don't want to watch this. I don't want to film this. We are exploiting drug addicted kids. I don't know. I mean, it's fine if you bring it up later and you show it later when you're telling the story of like, my son is an addict and I took him to rehab because we know that's coming. And then you show it later at the reunion. But to show it without any context of what's to come, like, yeah, so many people on Threads and Twitter and stuff were just like laughing about it. I was in shock over how many content creators thought it was funny. Or like, Mary's such a loser of a mom to allow this. I would have kicked them out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm dead. Like, as a mother, I would have never allowed. I mean, it was just so bad. So bad. Meanwhile, I felt the same about Jeremiah. I don't know. There's something that is just like too much to cross, like too many. Okay. Do you agree, Todd? No. Todd never agrees. He's pissed. All right. Let's move on to to Sister Wives, to the fun part of the show. Before I bring up Sister Wives, I would love to bring up my second sponsor of this amazing week of Daily Dose of Donna, and that is HONEYLOVE. As the holidays roll in, there's one thing I am extra thankful for, and that is HONEYLOVE. If you've ever suffered through an uncomfortable bra or shapewear, you know exactly what I mean. HONEYLOVE has totally revolutionized the game, making comfort and style their top priorities. Forget painful underwire and thick, hot fabrics. HONEYLOVE's bras use supportive bonding so you get all the lift without the discomfort of underwires. And their fabric is so soft, you'll never want to take it off. Their shapewear is equally impressive using targeted compression technology that feels effective, not suffocating. You'll instantly see and feel the difference. Trust me, this is shapewear you can actually breathe in. I'm going out tonight, by the way. I'm going to the reality TV awards. I'm going to, film a bunch of stuff. I'm not exactly sure if I'll post some stuff on stories, but I'll probably do something either on Patreon or whatever, or maybe here on YouTube. I'll film a bunch of content and I'll let you guys know how that is, of course. And I'm sure I'm going to wear my shapewear under my dress tonight or whatever I'm going to wear. So I'll let you guys know tomorrow how it felt. But of course, I love their crossover bra. That's my favorite bra of theirs. It's actually the only bra I ever wear because I never wear bras other than that because I don't like an underwire. It feels so uncomfortable. So here's the best part. For November only, HONEYLOVE is offering up to 50% off site-wide. It's the perfect time to treat yourself to a gift of comfort. And if you go to honeylove.com/dailydose to shop this incredible sale, you're going to get an additional discount. When they ask where you heard about them, let them know I sent you. Don't miss their biggest sale of the year. Elevate your comfort. Go to honeylove.com/daily dose. Use code daily dose on their website, honeylove.com/daily dose. Okay. Hold on. Drink time. All right. Great. Cindy says they have a great return policy. Lori says, I say Honey Love bras are great. By the way, you guys, 460 people here in the live. Are you subscribed? Do you love? Do you like? Okay. Let's get into Sister Wives, because you know that's my favorite time of the week. My favorite time of the week are Mondays on Sister Wives. This week on Sister Wives, Mary has finally decided to break the news to Robin, Cody, Solomon, and Ariella that I'm moving to Peron. Christine has officially hit puberty with David, and she has now reached a point where she has licked every body part of his. So she has decided to now decide how many licks does it take to get to the center of the David pop. Isabel is going through severe sadness because she doesn't want David to be her dad, but unfortunately Cody forgot she existed. Janelle is MIA, and Mary's gay buddies are, flipping her house. Move that bus this week on Sister Wives. Another episode for the books. This is a show that will never, ever, ever get old. Now, I'll tell you, I take notes for Sister Wives. I will never take notes for Potomac, but I will take notes for Sister Wives. And my notes are already on board, because when I say Sister Wives on my notes, it immediately autocorrects to Disaster Wives. And I decided that Sister Wives has a new name on our show, and it's called Disaster Wives. And is there anything better? Sister Wives are Disaster Wives. Now, the first scene opens up. It opens up with Mykelti and Tony's house. Mykelti and Tony's house, which is, I would like a walkthrough on Mykelti and Tony's house. And apparently they keep it a pigsty, because David even says, oh, they cleaned up for us. And Christine's like, so it's always a mess. I mean, they really threw Mykelti and Tony under the bus there. They open up the door, and Christine makes a shriek that can only be understood in some way. It almost sounds like something that, it's possible that maybe it's like a sound that she makes when she's, look, it's probably a sex sound. Like, it's probably a sound that she makes when David, his motorcycle, she's like, oh, she makes a shriek like you've never heard anything when she walks in. Okay. She walks in, she goes into the house, and she's like, oh my God. She decides to say, we're going to babysit. And when I said I'm going to babysit, Mykelti actually says, well, I'm hoping David babysits and you can come. Now, again, timeline is off. How do we know this? Because in last week's episode, we're not idiots, Sister Wives. In last week's episode, it was Gwendolyn's wedding shower. And in that scene, we saw David and Cody meet for the first time. And David said, or Cody was rocking the baby. And he goes, have you met this bundle of joy? And David goes, yeah, I already babysat for them. I'm guessing this happened before the baby shower. So they're babysitting. Now, Christine goes, oh, David loves children. He loves to babysit. He's like a sexy grandpa. I don't want to know that. He's not a sexy grandpa to me. Sorry. There's a lot of sexy grandpas out there, okay? It ain't him. But that's okay. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now, I did notice something. Remember, this is a throwback. Remember Little People, Big World? I believe there's some sort of a Venn diagram here. Who here watched Little People, Big World religiously? I never covered Little People, Big World on this show, okay? I loved Little People, Big World in the early days. I was a Matt Roloff, Amy Roloff stan. Loved them, okay? So I was watching Little People, Big World, and when Amy and Matt broke up, I was shocked. I was devastated too. I actually thought Matt was a catch. Okay. Matt was a catch. And I thought, Amy, what are you doing? Matt is like a hottie. He's a hot man. Okay. Like he's resourceful, he's handsy, he does a lot. Look at what he's built for you. But Amy wanted someone else, and she ended up finding her own version of David. And actually, I believe that Amy and Christine are very similar in this. Think about it. They had a very similar approach to this. They both wanted a man on a motorcycle that had a very high voice. And they both found a very similar type of man. In fact, I want to say Amy's husband, Chris, is very similar to Christine's husband, David. They're both high voiced motorcycle men. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm just saying there's a study to be made there of these TLC women that hated their husbands and then ended up with these motorcycled high voiced men. Just saying. Okay. Christine and the timeline of her relationship with Matt. I mean, with David. Christine and Matt Roloff. Now that would be the fucking best. What I would do if Mary from Parowan and Matt Roloff ended up together. Oh my God. You guys, I'm dying. What if Mary and Matt Roloff started dating? Why am I laughing so hard? I don't know. It just makes me laugh. He would build her such a lovely carriage house. I got a voice message from someone who doesn't even watch my show. Okay, she doesn't even watch my show. But I've known her for so many years. She's in totally a different world than me. She's a marketing genius. She's a social media woman. She's fantastic, and I love her dearly. And she sends me a voice message at 5:20 this morning, and I have to play it for you.
Okay, I just have to send a quick voice message to anyone who would understand what I'm saying. And it's you. So I was just catching up on Sister Wives. I always watch it on Monday morning. And I think that Christine talking about the timeline of her and David dating is similar to how often they talk about Coyote Pass. Like the timeline, we get it. It's fast. I mean, the amount of time she says when they started dating, when they were online, then when they dated, when they moved, decided to look for houses, when they said I love you, when they kissed, like we know the timeline, girl. Like, but it's getting to be a lot of times. And I'm like, it reminds me of just how much Coyote Pass comes up.
What? How accurate is that? The amount of times that Christine brings up the timeline of her and David. It's giving 7th grade crush. It's giving 6:11 a.m. He texts me. 6:13, I text him back. On Monday, he looked at me in the hallway. On Wednesday, we held hands for the first time. On Thursday, this woman and her timeline of this relationship is wild. I'm so sick of their relationship. They are already married. The fact that they're still talking about buying a house together, the fact that they're going this far to buy a house, they've already bought a house. They're not even engaged yet. Don't worry, it's to come. Is so mad and I'm so done over this. Like, be done. Be done, Christine. Christine has gone very quickly this season from being my favorite sister wife to being below McKelty. And that's saying a lot. Below McKelty. Below Robin. I will take Robin over Christine this season. That's how little I like Christine. In fact, her conversation with Isabel, made me severely not even like, I think she's a bad mom now. Maybe not a bad mom, but like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. She's putting herself and David before anything in her life. And it's not working. All the wives, Suki says, are in suspended adolescence because they've been with Cody since they were young. This is 100% true. They are all in Arrested Development since the day they met Cody, which is like 17. It's probably 13. Okay. So at this point, then we go over to Mary, and Mary's living her best life with her gays. Okay. She's got her gay bestie. She's got Jen, who are still on the fence with it. Jen and her have a gay relationship. We're not sure. Okay. Ask TJ. And, she's never been happier. But then she talks about being single. And she's like, I've not had someone check in with me when I've traveled and like landed in a certain place forever. Like I've not landed in a certain home and had someone say like, or landed in the location, had someone say, are you there safe? I haven't had that forever. And that would be so easy for me or hard for me to like imagine someone's checking in on me. And that actually broke my heart for Mary. Poor Mary. Mary is shooting her way up this season. Okay. She's talking about she's always been alone. They talk about Gabe and Gwendolyn and how when Gwendolyn and Gabe, this is back to Christine, how when Gabe and Gwendolyn were babies, they were born 4 days apart, which is just wild that Cody was just spreading his seed left and right. He was like, Christine, Janelle. They were just exploding over there left and right. And how hard it was when they were little babies, and how Mary, and this is kind of crazy too, how Mary then had to take time off her work to take care of her sister wives' babies because she had 2 sisters who were postpartum and there was all these kids around. And her boss couldn't know, like, why are you taking time off? You never had a baby. It's pretty interesting. And then they were talking about Christine and David, just buying a house. And Christine just loves to throw it in Cody's face. It's basically like measuring, penis sizes. She's like, well, Cody always said he was going to help me around the house. He always said he was going to build me things. He always promised that he was going to do this, just like Coyote Pass. He doesn't do anything. Cody's still measuring Coyote Pass. Meanwhile, Cody's like just pulling on his work gloves constantly. Like that's all Cody does. He's all talk and no action. Cody's pulling on those work gloves every day. Just pulls on those work gloves, but he never does any work. Cody puts on the work gloves just to take a poop. Cody is like he's a big performer. Everything's for the theatrics. He loves to put on the work gloves and then he does nothing with it. I'm going to work today to measure some lots on Coyote Pass. Yeah, David must be sick of hearing Cody's name, Chris. I agree. Cody this and Cody that. Christine, can't we just talk about me for once? Yeah, but when Cody did this and when Cody, oh, David, you're so special, but Cody never did that. Okay. And then, Christine probably has a piece of paper where she like tallies. She goes, Cody, David. And then she's like, didn't help me, helps me. What had long hair? Bald. Had multiple wives, loves me only. Okay. She says, I am not moving slow with David. No shit, Christine. No shit. Literally, like you could get a warrant, like an arrest warrant. You could get like a cop, holding a gun to you saying like, don't move further with David. And she'd say like, come at me, bro. I'm marrying this man. Literally, like they could say like, if you move one step further, a bomb will go off. She'd be like, okay, I'm going. I'm taking this man. Like nothing will stop her. And it could be David and it could be literally Bozo the Clown. Like it doesn't matter. She is like one track minded for this man. Now, Mary's sister is helping her move. And she's sweet and they're painting. And she's like, so when are you moving to Parowan? And she's like, well, it's interesting. I have no nostalgia about getting rid of my furniture, but you know who is Cody. I have no nostalgia, but Cody is saying, and she's like, Cody gives me mixed messages. And this is interesting because we did see a preview for next week where Cody is breaking down crying over Mary leaving. Mary. Cody all of a sudden is really starting to question why he's kicking Mary out after 47 years of never talking to her. Mary's saying Cody's been giving her mixed messages. That since Flagstaff, like, she was starting to see that he was ready to move forward. He was getting over the catfishing. They were breaking bread. They were having beverages, she said. What kind of beverages? I didn't think they were drinking alcohol. So what were they doing? Like drinking iced tea? And like, on the porch, and just like that he was giving her signs that maybe he was ready to try to move forward. But then he says, I was never in a position where there was a fertile bed of love to grow. And then I wrote, or some shit. He goes, I was never. I'm sorry, is it Josh's birthday? Can someone let me know that? Because I didn't know that, and that would really freak me out if I missed my Josh's birthday in the comments. He said that there was no fertile I mean, of course he has to make some gardening reference. There's the work gloves again. He goes, I really wanted to love Mary, but I put on my work gloves and I didn't have a fertile bed of love. The soil was dry. There was no fertile love. I needed some more seeds. I tried to spread my seed. Wait, do you think it's all because he couldn't get her pregnant? Wait, you guys, seriously think about this. Mary was the only one of his wives who was infertile because she struggled to get pregnant. Mary could only have the first daughter, who then became Leon, right? So now I can't remember her name. Someone will help me in the comments. And then she went through years of infertility. Remember, Robin even suggested having a baby and helping as a surrogate. Mary was like useless for Cody after he couldn't reproduce. This is Mariah. Thank you. This is wild. The second Mary became dry as like a baby production machine, the love was gone. There was no fertile bed for love to grow. I figured it out. Love must be multiplied. Cody's love language is spreading his seed. He was not able to spread his seed. Therefore, he's not able to be loved. This is truly what Cody, I think I figured him out. You guys, call me Dr. Donna. This is unbelievable. Like, give me a show. Oh, I have one. But like, really, seriously, like an afternoon show, like a 3 p.m. Like you call in with your problems. Okay, this is really interesting. He said, we were in a strange couple that were separated and on the bridge of divorce. We didn't sleep on the same bed for 8 years. And then her sister said, or no, her gay bestie says, I believe that's called leading you on. Now, Mary says, he gave me a list, a whole list of things that I had to do. And in this list, I checked it all off. And that was just excuses, because once the list was over and I did it all, he still left me. The one thing in the list that she wasn't able to give him was babies. You guys, it is really, really interesting. I think I figured out. I'm gonna write a thesis. I'm amazed. Okay. Now, Christine and Isabel start to have a conversation in the house. Well, Christine's like, this is my house. This is our new house. Like, isn't it amazing? And Isabel's like, yeah, I mean, it's nice. And remember, she's the one that had the scoliosis, and she's the one who went to the surgery, and dad didn't go. And this was like the start of their break in relationship. And she was so sad about that. And she's kind of like, it's really fast. And Christine's like, what part? And she goes, all of it. And Christine's like, sorry, there's not really much I'm going to do about that. In an interview, Christine says, I don't really care that she thinks it's fast. I don't really care if anyone thinks it's fast. No one's going to stop me. I'm going to do this. And we can build a life together, standing strong forever. Nothing's going to stop us now. Like, she literally doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. It's giving teenage rebellion. Like parents are like, please take it slow. And she's like, get out of my way, mom. I don't like it. It's giving mean. It's giving like it's actually really sad, right? And then the final thing, okay, so then Mary then goes to, and just to finish off the Christine and Isabel, they had one scene later where they're moving into this house and Christine is saying, I'm just so much calmer. I just feel so calm. I'm just so calm right now. I'm just so calm right now. No, you're not. You're on Adderall. You're literally on cocaine. You're on crack. You're someone dosed you up with a crazy amount of cocaine and Adderall and hormones and caffeine. Like something is on, you're on something. You're not calm. You're crazy. Like you're literally, your boobs are sprouting. Like something is happening. And she's like, I'm so calm. I'm just so calm. And Isabel is like crying. She's like, I feel like I'm gonna now have a relationship with my dad. And like, I'm just so sad and whatever. And Christine's like, okay, Anne, like, what does this have to do with me? What? Like, you're annoying me. Like, she doesn't really say that, but she's not giving her the actual love and attention she deserves. She's basically like, I don't really know or care about this experience because like it's kind of raining on my parade, my happy parade with me and Lollipop here. Like, I'm okay. So like, what's the deal? Like, he'll be there for you as a dad. Like, it's giving a little bit of putting yourself first before your kids, and I don't like it so much. And her daughter is not necessarily giving her um like an ultimatum or saying don't do it. She's just expressing her feelings and concerns. I don't know, it just made me so sad. But the final big scene is when Mary goes to explain to Cody and Robin that I'm moving. And she goes, I don't know why I'm doing it. They're not family, but I guess I feel like I have to. She goes into their house and she says, hi. And the kids freak out. They're so excited to see her. And in front of Ariella, Ariola, she says, oh, Bethenny, my first live. I see you. I see you. I see you. In front of Ariola, she says, and by the way, I have someone in my family named Ariella. I think that is her name. I think Ariella is a beautiful name, but I don't know why Ariola just kind of sounded better in the moment. She goes, Robin, is this a conversation? No, Robin goes, because Robin's so dramatic, right? Is this a conversation that we should have in front of the kid? And Mary goes, it's up to you. It's about the M word. And no, it's not murder. Okay. And no, it's not mass disease. And no, it's not something, it's not something that you do with Dame products. It's about moving, but they call it the M word. And they kind of push off Areola to go to another room. And they bring in so then Robin and Cody are sitting there and Mary goes, I'm going to need your help, Cody, because I'm going to move. And Robin's not okay. And Cody's not okay. Why so soon? Why so soon? And Mary's like, why so soon? Bitch. She doesn't really say that, but she's like, Cody, what do you mean, why so soon? You've kicked me out of here so long ago. Like, you didn't want to talk to me 18 years ago. What do you mean, why so soon? Like, Cody's starting to panic. He is really starting to panic. He's like, why are you getting me out of here? Like, what are you doing? You know? And Mary's like, look, I mean, it's just not the time. She's like, I just need you to help me move if that's okay. Like maybe as a severance package. And then Cody goes, I really want to tell her what's in my heart, but it's not safe to tell her what's in my heart. I don't trust her. Now they bring back Ariola and Solomon and they sit with them and she explains it to them. And they're expecting, I mean, it's as if they're telling them that their dog died. I'm going to tell you something. And Robin's like, I'm moving. Oh, I don't want you to move. I don't either. I mean, it's so dramatic. They hardly see Mary. I think they see her once every 16 years. But then the final episode, the final part of the episode. Oh, Sarah wants to know if I can get canceled for mentioning areola. Absolutely, because my name is Donna and they will try to cancel me for anything I do. But areola is just a human body part. And you know what? I'm a proud woman. And we should all be proud of our areolas. In fact, we should all be proud of our areolas because Karen Huger, thank you, Eliza Rosen, shout out. She always wants her shout outs. Karen Huger's areolas are loud and proud in her confessionals. Go check them out. Loud and proud. In the last, oh yeah, Joe Mendoza says, I have an areola too, right? I guess men have areolas too. We all have areolas. The last scene was Christine and David on an ATV ride in Moab. Not a day goes by where we don't mention Moab. Should we do DoserCon 2026 in Moab? They go on a scary ATV ride, and then he proposes. She goes, I had no idea he was going to propose. Girl, you planned the proposal. Okay, you bought yourself the ring. You drove yourself to the Moab. You push him down on one knee. I mean, you proposed to yourself. David's not real. You're in costume dressed as David. Oh, you guys, it's too much for me. Thank you so much for joining another beautiful day of Daily Dose of Donna. So many newbies, so many areola versions. Welcome to the most inappropriate show that covers reality TV. If you want to stay with me, you will definitely be canceled at some point because that's the name of the game here on Daily Dose of Donna. I am inappropriate, I guess, by a fault, and people are just out to get me. But that's the fun part. You know, we're like a video game. It's like an obstacle. I just jump over hoops. Where can I go without getting canceled this week? It's a fun one. It's a fun one over here on Daily Dose of Donna. Join the program by subscribing here. See you here Monday through Friday. And I will see you. Yeah. Join me on Instagram, you guys. Follow me on Instagram at This Is Donna Bowling if you want to see any behind the scenes stuff as I take you through my night tonight. Date night with Lancey. We'll have so much fun, and I will see you mañana. Make sure to subscribe. Bye, y'all. Bye, guys. I love the comments. Bye, everyone.